Right, welcome back. Last time we had to do yet another restart. This time though I'm actually inside of Lubeck's Trade League, which should definitely help. Because now, should any one of us get attacked, they're gonna have to face with me, Hamburg, Hoya, Oldenburg, Kamen, Tecklenburg. Well, I don't think that'll be much help. And Lubeck, so. I've also been picking up the first ticks. And I've been expanding my local industries in the hopes of attracting more people. So I'm going to need that. Thankfully lots of peasants are coming in, as well as quite a few residents. Though the bubonic plague has also made itself known here, and 75 people have died. It's probably going to stay at 75, so. Actually, I do wonder. Okay, so at least they now describe what idea groups you need in order to get the... Okay, in order to get the policy. Civ Rel. What? Oh, civic religion. Okay. That yearly Republican tradition +1 is amazing. I want that. So I guess I'm getting civic religion. Oh, and it's 1362, which means I should be able to... Noble loyalty is now at 100%. The nobles are acting extremely strange, aren't they? Okay, time to restart bureaucratic expansion. I have to keep doing this if I want to have state reach increase by any sizable amount. Can I now interact with the nobles? Okay, finally. And they have the proper loyalty quantity of 56%. Right, so what I need to attack first is their power sources. I can ignore these. They're not giving me any money anyway. I'm not taxing them anyway, so... There's this, but that can be done later. Yeah, I can leave them with autonomous holdings for a while. As for court titles... The question is, what is... Assess power. Influence. Power from wealth, power from autonomy, elite power from autonomy. And then resting gentry power, that's the gravity. It does appear that influence has no effect there. Oh, it affects how much faction influence they have. Oh, okay. So there's nothing I can do with the privileges that reduces their power. Actually, I probably should check first to see if I can still do reforms after doing that, and that's probably no longer the case. Well, that was stupid of me to do. At least this one only increases influence, not gravity. Gravity's way worse. That's all I'm willing to do. Anything more would be a bit too much. However, I can directly demote them. Problem is, it's the question of where the resting point of power is. Okay, it's reducing. Thankfully. So I need to reduce their influence as much as possible. Reducing the power would be nice, but it is not necessary for the time being. Alright. Okay. I understand what I need to do. The industry is finally making money again. But we need more rural folk. Thankfully, quite a few of them are migrating. There we go. Right. Time to open up a new slot. What would be good? Well, the question is, what kind of industry can I even sustain? Okay, so it has to be one of the more basic industries. Probably textiles. Because I believe houseware requires raw materials rather than fiber. Huh. This potentially industrial goods rather than consumer goods. Why not? Besides, I plan on opening multiple slots of industry eventually anyway. I'm going to need a diverse economy in order to keep it stable. Maybe dropping fleet maintenance would work. Yeah. I'm not even using the fleet anyway. Yeah, well, the industry sizes did not actually shift. It just borrowed most of the armaments industry size. That's not good, because I have to actually invest into there. That's going to balloon the size of the industry, and my amenities aren't capable of holding that much. At all. And no one's migrating anymore to the city, so... Yep, I'm gonna have to handle that somehow. Well... Still, how goes labor? I still need more peasantry. And more urbans too. Theoretically. According to that information. Then this information says otherwise. Perhaps I should just give it some time. Their tech art. Oh, actually, it has been a few years. Alright. Lance crests. Get me a new infantry type, which will help. Plus, it gets me that ahead of time bonus. The army tradition is not going to be useful at all. Oh, hey, an Imperial Reform. Probably be a good time to end the session anyway. The prestige is nice. I mean, technically I am a prince. Though, insofar as that can be considered the case, well... I would like to know where... Okay, it's sorted by alphabetical order, isn't it? There it is. Human player supports the reform. Human player opposes the reform. I'm willing to go all the way to call for Reichsreform, but no further. Yeah, let's grab the warships tech. Not like any of this stuff is actually useful for me. The head of time bonus. Global trade power plus 20%. Wow, that's so useful when my own trade power is literally 0. Well, anyway. I've started being able to interact with the nobles, but I made a slight mistake in that I gave them way more influence than they really should have. In order to try to appease them. I should have reformed first and then appeased them. But it's not like any of the reforms will reduce their power, which is something I'm interested in doing. The less power they have, the better. Especially since I need for them to have low influence for this. Now that I realize that, yeah, that wasn't exactly the smartest thing to do. The administration is expanding. Though it's, of course, slow going. But what else is new? I managed to survive to the first election, which is nice. Though I will have to say I am slightly annoyed that the Republican tradition decreases with the new ruler. Which really does cause problems when it comes to long-term stability. Executive authority, well, it is nice to have institutional authority this high. This means that a 1 can go all the way up to 3. And a 3 to a 4. So it means that even if I pick the random option, it's really not that bad as long as I don't get something like 0, 0, 0. Even then, that's just going to be 2, 2, 2. Which is still really bad, but it's not absolutely terrible levels of bad. provincial corruption is decreasing, though there's also the fact that I keep increasing it, because I'm also expanding the administration. Also, my tax income is reduced suddenly, and expenses when it comes to property and manpower have increased. I'm not entirely sure why, but property isn't doing too well. Might be high labor costs, especially when it comes to the rural stuff. And that's where I own most of my property, so... Lots of this stuff will contract until labor demand is met again. Though there are a lot of peasants being born and migrating to here. Especially being born because, well, conditions are great for them. Conditions are great for the clergy too. Good enough so they actually get one extra person last year. Isn't that amazing? The residents are doing less well, but I believe they're still migrating, but it's difficult to tell exactly. There's still demand for their labor. I'm going to need more if I want to set up actual amenities. Which I will have to at some point. Because I don't have the money for it, and the costs of the military are increasing. However, the army is almost at 1,000, which is good. After that, anything more is increases to my manpower. The biggest problem is that I have to pay for it, and I can barely afford that in the first place, so... At the moment I'm barely staying afloat. I may have to drop the advisors eventually. Which is not a good thing. You're supposed to use them, that's why they're so cheap. I've also decided to take on the, where's the policy? There it is. The Tolerance Act, because, well, a decent portion of my notables are Jewish. About 10%. No, it's actually slightly lower now. However, all of my urbanites are Jewish, so... It's in my interest to make sure that they remain at least somewhat happy. I am also slowly centralizing. It's at about 10.5, I'd say. The exact amount tends to be difficult to ascertain, though. Anyway. I did try opening up, getting more industry by opening up a new slot, but it didn't really work. Still demand is high, although throughput... There's a disconnect between what this is telling me, and what this is telling me when it comes to how much labor is being used versus how much labor is needed. I'm probably going to need more urbanites, but they're not migrating, so... I guess I'll have to see. Of course, it's also entirely possible that I managed to pull practically all the Jewish urbanites in the HRE. I might end up accidentally doing that, which isn't intentional. But that's going to cause some very interesting side effects, I can presume. Oh well. I also have an idea for the next idea group. I'm probably going to go plutocracy, because if I can get civic religion, I get a I get poor relief, which gives me +1 yearly army tradition, republican tradition, which would be incredibly useful. Of course, plutocracy ideas is a long way coming. It's going to take until tech level 18, so. Plus, I don't have a commercial district. I don't have the population yet. But it's getting there, assuming migration doesn't stop like it just, well, like it's telling me it did. Oh well. The peasants are coming in, so that's nice. Certainly needed. But yeah, that should be good for now. I'll see you again next time. Until then.